Trump's team in a Twitter spat tonight with a spokesman for the New York mayor, Bill de Blasio. Here to discuss now, CNN political commentator Kayleigh McEnany, Michael Nutter, the former mayor of Philadelphia, Symone Sanders, former press secretary for Bernie Sanders, and CNN political commentator Matt Lewis. I can tell you the lesson here is just, don't do it. Write it and don't hit send.
Never tweet.
That's
hashtag
it.
never tweet.
Hashtag just don't do it. So, Mayor, I don't get it. I learned my lesson a year after Twitter started. Just don't respond.
Right.
So, Mayor, I have to ask you, there was a suspicious package at Trump Tower. This is the backstory tonight. The NYPD responded, found it was a bag of toys. Then a Twitter feud ensued. First, Sean Spicer tweeted shortly after the scare. It said, "Back to work here at Trump Tower after a false alarm. Thanks, NYPD." And then Eric Phillips, the spokesman for Mayor de Blasio, tweeted response, "No problem. We'll send you the bill." Then Trump's director of social media, Dan Scavino, retweeted the exchange and added, "Eric Phillips, spokesman for NYC Mayor Bill de Blasio, you are an embarrassment to the in New York City's mayor's office and the amazing NYPD." And then finally, Eric Phillips responded, linking a story to Trump, story on Trump's security costs, and tweeted, "That's not very nice, Dan, but about that bill, work on it with us, question mark." So as the former mayor of Philadelphia, what's your reaction?
Yeah. Some of the comments from earlier, someone literally needs to remove that device from his hands, from any room that he's in. I mean, we're still in this, president-elect period, but they've really got to get a lot more serious about what's going on. I think it's costing New York City about $1 million a day, 300 plus police officers with this whole Trump Tower security. But they respond to every little thing. President Obama says something in an interview, that any candidate would say if they had the opportunity to run. And of course, Mr. Trump has to respond. There's no discipline here whatsoever. Now, at some point in time, he might actually have a real press conference like normal people and talk with the press about actual serious things that are important and on the minds of many Americans, as opposed to this silly Twitter stuff. You can't run the government on Twitter. No disrespect to Twitter.
Kayleigh, let me ask you, where's the high road? Should Dan Scavino have made a personal attack?
Look, Dan Scavino can do what he'd like. I think, Twitter is being used in this period now. He is currently the president-elect. I do suspect that when he becomes President of the United States, there will have to be some amendments to the Twitter usage by him and also by his staff. I think he'll still use it in an innovative way, as Sean Spicer has promised us. But I do think that there will have to be some alterations. I think you get a little bit of leeway in this period, but starting January 20th, I do think we're going to see a different tone.
You and I have been doing this for about almost 2 years now. And you and other Trump surrogates have been saying, well, he's going to change, he's going to become more presidential, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. And then that, the line keeps moving to when so what makes you think he's going to change?
Well, the reason I think that there will have to be some sort of change is because he simply won't have access to a personal device in the way he has that access now. There are all sorts of security protocols that go into this when you're president of the United States that will bar him, I think, from freely using Twitter. But that being said, I do think you're right in that there's not going to be a full-on, leaving behind of Twitter, because this is his way of communicating directly with the American people and surpassing the media, which in some ways is good if used appropriately.
All right, I want to move on because we're running out of time and we have other really important things to discuss. President Barack Obama, this is for you, Matt, spoke to David Axelrod, which is a longtime friend. They're having a very friendly conversation. He's our CNN colleague. It was for his podcast. The audio was just released. Listen to this.
What I would argue is that the culture actually did shift, that the majority does buy into the notion of a one America that is tolerant and diverse and open and full of energy and dynamism, and the problem is it doesn't always manifest itself in politics, right? I am confident in this vision because I'm confident that if I had run again and articulated it, I think I could have mobilized a majority of the American people to rally behind it.
So, Matt, what do you think of that statement? Do you think the president is right? Would he have beaten Donald Trump? Should he have even said it?
I don't think he should have said it. I'm gonna take up for Donald Trump here, because I think in both examples tonight, the example of Bill de Blasio's staffer weighing in on the Sean Spicer tweet that seemed appropriate to me, and in the case of President Obama, they're starting it. It's not Donald Trump. And President Obama is basically saying, I would have beat Donald Trump. I think maybe it would have been, maybe that was ill-advised. Maybe we should be saying, should President Obama be going on podcasts and be talking trash about the president-elect?
Oh, my
Shouldn't
goodness.
he be respecting the president-elect?
Well, that was
No,
my
no.
question. I said, should he say
President
it?
Obama is
But
not
I didn't
I
say
don't think
talking
he even
trash.
mentioned his name.
No, he
He
never
didn't mention
said
his
it.
name. What are you
No.
talking
Well,
about?
he's saying
Get outta
he's
here.
implying that he would have won, that he would have. I would have beat this
Which
other
he's
guy.
well within
It's
his
also
rights to
bashing
do.
Hillary.
Read the entire-
By the way,
One
it's
at a
also
time.
attacking
Simone-
Hillary Clinton
Simone,
as
go
well.
ahead.
It doesn't make her look great either.
Look, President Obama is enjoying the highest approval rating that he's ever had, higher than any outgoing president. So I think he's well within his rights to say, hey, I think that I could have articulated a vision and run a campaign and communicated to the American people that we are better off than we were 8 years ago, and we can only get better. Elect me as president. He's well within his rights to say that. He didn't trash talk Donald Trump. And to the tweets, look, Dan Scavino and Eric Phillips, who is a very nice man, by the way, we just need to leave it off Twitter, guys. And Sean Spicer as the incoming press secretary / communications director / whoever else, because nobody wants the jobs in Trump Tower, he has more pressing things.
As we say here at CNN, when things get a little heated on the group email around the company, take it offline, guys. Take it offline. Listen, here's what I have to say. I just wonder what happened to the high road, because maybe President Obama should not have said that. But he's talking to a friend.
Donald Trump
and if
and
you,
his campaign
but listen,
has dragged us
but
into the
listen,
gutter,
will you
Don?
let me
And
finish
he was
my
talking
point,
about
Simone?
himself.
Exactly. And so if you won and you're going to be the next president, and you hear the previous president say that, you may say, you know what, maybe he shouldn't have said it, but I'm going to take the high road because the guy's going out of office, and then when I get in, I'm going to do my thing because I won. I don't have to go on Twitter and do that.
No
I'm wondering where the high road is in all of this. We'll be right back.